phenomenal success story is the quality of leadership in terms of competence, in terms of experience, in terms of expertise, in terms of serving the people. Whether we start from Chairman Mao or Premier Zhou Enlai or Deng Xiaoping or Jiang Zemin or Hu Jintao and now President Xi Jinping. That quality has been there. It's based on meritocracy. It's based on rising through the system. Xi Jinping spent about 8-10 years in the countryside working as an ordinary laborer. And then he came to the system. So that's number one. Number two, the ability to do a course correction. That you know that this is not the right path, you make a course correction. They did it under Deng Xiaoping. And that was also the third plenum of the 11th Central Committee in 1978, when they chose that path. The other element is continuity of policy. Irrespective of changes in the country or outside of the region, continuity of policy. The fourth aspect, the reason of the China success story, learning from others. When Deng Xiaoping started this reform, they chose 3 countries where they sent experts to learn from. In Asia, Singapore, Philippines, and Pakistan. And in Pakistan, when they came, I was reading this book, Breaking Through, by Li Langching. He said that when we came here, we were learning from the Pakistan bureaucracy. He came in 1982. And he said the Karachi port was amazing. They were having 2.6 million tons of cargo being lifted, while Shanghai was only 10% of that at that time. So, and they said, we didn't know how to make a feasibility report or a study. And they learned from Pakistan. They learned from Singapore. And they learned from Philippines. And the final ingredient of the China success story, in my view, is a peaceful foreign policy. China has not fought any war with any country in the last 40 years. That is it. They focused on development internally, and that's how they progress. So we have a lot to learn from China. And the China success story is important, and we are very grateful to China for their support to Pakistan at difficult moments. That's why we say it's an all-weather friend. And China came to Pakistan for the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which is part of the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, of President Xi Jinping, at a time when no country in the world was willing to invest in Pakistan, neither Western nor any Muslim country, because of the situation in the region, because of the situation in Pakistan. But China reposed that vote of confidence in Pakistan, its people and its future. Thank you, sir, for your support always. So we look forward to a very good discussion on these issues. And the first speaker, keynote speech would be from Senator Sherry Rahman Sahaba. And she's, by the way, from this, after making the speech, she's rushing to the airport on her way to Karachi en route to Beijing. So good luck on your travel. You can speak. Oh, you can use it. Yeah, okay. Sherry is always walking tall and mashallah in the podium. Yes, exactly.
Is this working?
Yes.
This is working. Okay. Thank you very much. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Senator Mushahid Hussain, Councillor Yang, Minister Sheikh, Senator Buledi, Senator Sadia Abbasi, Senator Ali Zafar, we're full of senators today, Maulana Haidari Saab, and old friend, Senator Afras Yab Khattak Saab, distinguished parliamentarians, friends from the media, political actors, and friends of China. Thank you very much for having us today.
Minister Sheikh Saab is the chief guest.
I did say Minister Sheikh. And Ni Hao and good morning.
Senator Shibli Fraz, leader of the opposition, has arrived.
Always late, but better late than never. So, after that speech from Mushahid Hussain summing up China's meteoric rise as a global power that straddles not just the globe, But I think this century, should I start again? After Mushahid Hussein's, uh, I think astonishing, speech, which, encapsulates China's astounding power and rise, not just as a global power, but a power and a country that straddles, uh, our minds, our imaginations, and today, as you mentioned, paths to the future. So China has emerged in the last, I think, couple of decades, and specifically the milestones were mentioned here today. We are addressing, of course, the third plenum, which is singularly pivotal, which to our mind is singularly pivotal in taking China into a further, new stage of bending history as we see it. Because that is what great nations do. They project power both inside the country, they take the power from the country, from the policies of meritocracy, technological advancement, scientific, evolution, and great investment in people. That has been the cornerstone of Chinese, development. We see that the Chinese Communist Party, which has been a great friend of Pakistan, all the political parties of Pakistan, has been, one of the premier actors of bringing political agency to the world. And it has, through the People's Republic, projected power in ways that is actually unique. I'm, as usual, departing from my, composed
speak from
speech.
the heart.
Yes, of course, that's very important, because I saw you doing that. I don't have your dazzling statistics and I won't repeat them, but yes, the Economist cover came to mind as singularly, worthy of attention to all of us. I remember seeing that, and I remember seeing it said that this is now the future and heart of science, because science, ladies and gentlemen, is the cutting edge in global competition, whether it is trade wars, which we see many of, and whether it is actual conflict, which we see rising since more than, we see more conflict rising now since 1945 than any other time. You would have thought that some level of history has ended in that respect, that after the Second World War, the nations, the leading nations of the world learned that some level of competition is all right, but conflict is not the path to the 21st century. Why? Because the 21st century has problems as defined by problems without passport, whether it's cyber terrorism or climate change, other levels of change, and you see AI in the world. And here we are back in the 20th century, sharing the same problems, and what inspires us to meet here today. And I thank Mushahid Hussain for always holding the torch and bringing our attention to changes in global history that can give us hope, especially speaking from the Pakistan People's Party, which has had, the oldest relationship with the CPC. Shaheed Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was the last leader to see Chairman Mao. And that relationship has been curated and, nurtured by all our leaders, including Shaheed Benazir Bhutto. And then, of course, you know about President Zardari's pivotal role in giving the People's Republic of China the confidence by handing over Gwadar Port, or giving them the facilities, the comforts, and the rights over there, to see itself as an emerging two-ocean power and build a path through CPEC, to create the kind of, engine of infrastructure, technology, and now green, sustainable development that we all seek. Now, this is good old-fashioned projection of soft power, which is no longer fashionable, but it has the potential of reshaping history for developing countries, for regions that are now seeking a voice, including the global south, and Pakistan and China has a huge role to play as a leader and a pivot in the chain that connects the diverse countries of the global south. Because China's foreign policy is anchored, ladies and gentlemen, in taking as many people along as it can. It's a bit like what China has done inside the country, modernizing, revolutionizing, reinventing. So it's taken people along, it's taken millions along. And instead of fighting your way to the table and projecting power in old 20th century muscular ways, it has developed agency along the way, which is economic, which is smart, which is what we call soft power. But really, it is the new development model of global power. And it is a different way of projecting power that has appealed to many countries, to entire regions. And of course, it will and has redefined the history and economies, and has the potential of redefining the economies of not just the Asia Pacific, but many parts of the world, because it will carry its green and its infrastructure and its energy, its technology and other benefits as it invests, and it drives like a jugular vein of investment through those countries. Now, many have questioned how Pakistan has approached CPEC, which was, and I think, a spectacular opportunity and continues to be. It is, in our mind, one of the only big investment opportunities and partnership opportunities for Pakistan. Countries like ours don't encounter such historic pathways that we have. And it has not been something that we stumbled onto. It was engineered, it was thought through, it was a plan, because China does everything, does nothing without planning. And so we also took that along, and President Zardari visited China 11 times in his last presidency to make this happen. And of course, then the government that followed it also took up the CPEC as a priority project. And I believe it is time again for us to inject fresh energy and momentum into it. Fresh energy, fresh momentum, fresh investments, and look at how we can prosper together. Just a few points that I want to bring from reading about this historic third plenum of the People's Communist Party, which has been a great friend, and which is, on whose invitation I'm going to Beijing today, because they invest in people and they create long-term relationships. And in this, what I've seen is there's a global civilizational initiative. It's not aggressive. It's a global security initiative. Now, the global security initiative, of interest to all foreign policy practitioners, really speaks about a common, comprehensive, cooperative, and sustainable security lens. That's the paradigm. Common, comprehensive, cooperative, and sustainable. I think that's very important because it features dialogue over confrontation, partnership over alliance, and win-win outcomes. Sorry to mouth a cliche, but there's nothing better to phrase it. Win-win outcomes over zero-sum games. That's sad to say, still defines the new conflicted landscape, the re-emerging landscape of the 20th century. So I think in looking at this global security initiative and the DSI, as to put it in acronym, I think we should also grasp it in Pakistan and as political parties as a path that will lend political, diplomatic, economic, and security assistance to Pakistan in countering our challenges. As I said, the principal ones are still those without passports. Our problems without passports. One of them is terrorism. And then, of course, we have to discuss peace and security in the region, and financial stabilization, economic modernization, investments in our own technological modernization, which is a cornerstone of this third plenum decision making. And in doing so, I think we need to be very clear that when the CPEC was envisioned, it has gone through many iterations. And one of the ones that I really welcome with all my heart is the greening of this alliance, because really that's the future. And I'm not just saying it because I'm, as you all know, obsessed with climate change and environmental policies. It is the greening of the future, and it is defining all goals as multilateral. And you can also see many cities of China with going ahead of their stated climate ambitions. And those climate ambitions are very important because what they do is they bring down peak emissions to 2030, meaning they will peak in all their emissions. They will be reducing their carbon and reducing historic pollution in quantum that countries can learn from. Along the way, wherever they make energy investments, they will be adding sustainable energy to the mix. And one of, I think, the big projects or the small ones you need to look at it along the way, a success, a flagship success, to my mind, which we should all remember, is the Karot hydropower project. You know, it sequesters 3.5 million tons of carbon emissions, and it is providing 3.2 billion kilowatts of clean energy every year to its area, which is about 5 million people, as I understand it. It is projects like this that will redefine our century, our environment, and our capacity to bring agency and national power to all the goals that we set ourselves. We hope, and inshallah, I'm concluding now, that with this third plenary of the CPC, all our political parties will stand together to understand the power of political unity, of speaking for national goals with one voice, and privileging people over everything else. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Sherry Raman Sahaba has to leave, we understand that, and we wish her a good bon voyage to Beijing. All the best. No, you are irreplaceable. You are irreplaceable. और आपकी कुर्सी बड़ी मजबूत है. Thank you. And on that note of political unity, working together for national goals, that's the key. Next speaker is Senator Sadia Khakan Abbasi Sahaba from the PMLN.
Shahid Hussain, Mr. Mustafa Sayyid, and distinguished guests, Assalamu alaikum. I would like to extend my warmest thanks to Mr. Mushahid Hussain, Chairman, Pak China Institute, for his kind invitation to speak at this forum on Pak-China relations and the role of the Communist Party of China. It is a vast topic and is a subject of scholarly research and policy frameworks all over the world. There are only two issues that I would like to highlight. First are the key takeaways from China's third plenary session held on July 18, 2024, and secondly, the present dynamics between China and Pakistan. China's third plenary session was held on July 18, 2024. It was attended by 199 members and 165 alternate members of the Chinese Communist Party Central Committee. The keynote address was delivered by President Xi Jinping. The highlight of this was the affirmation that the focus will remain on improving the Communist Party's capacity for leadership and long-term governance, with the goal of completing all tasks by 2029, the 20th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. The 80th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. The meeting affirmed the progress in implementing the guidelines set out in the second session of the 20th National Party Congress. The meeting noted that the defined goals of pursuing progress in development and stability on all national and international fronts was fully implemented. As a result of these efforts, economic growth has been as benchmarks set out. This has created the enabling environment for political stability and cohesion, and establishing a modern, progressive, dynamic, and resilient state and society in China. In this respect, Mr. Chairman, I would like to draw your attention to the 5 developments that have strengthened China as a global power. First, it is an undeniable fact recognized by policymakers and analysts all over the world that China has done exceptionally well in adopting, refining, and rolling out existing technologies, and has posed a challenge to Western competitors. By focusing on acquisition of knowledge, conducting research, developing expertise, training manpower, and producing world-class technologically advanced products, China is now a global player in world markets. Secondly, China has achieved global dominance in the green energy sector by manufacturing electronic vehicles, batteries, and solar and wind energy products. Thirdly, China is focused on increasing productivity, income for public welfare through strengthening social safety networks, insurance schemes, quality education, healthcare, sustainable urban-rural development, retirement benefits for its aging population, so that the people benefit without inflationary pressures. Fourth, this meeting addressed the need to better leverage the role of the market, saying that China will lift restrictions to enhance open markets and private sector development while ensuring effective regulation and rule of law. Fifth, while placing emphasis on national security as the pivot for steady and continued progress for China, this meeting reaffirmed China's resolve for modernization as security and development are interlinked. The key emphasis was on steadfast and competent leadership, taking the country forward and expressing confidence in the vision of President Xi Jinping. Mr. Chairman, China is a state that has been built on the socialist ideology of service to the people, ensuring stability through pragmatism, moderation, and restraint in policy objectives, realism, strengthening institutions, ensuring harmony between humanity and nature, learning and adapting to the challenges of a modern industrial world, and reaching out to the developing world to help countries with its resources for economic growth. It is not a hegemonistic state. It does not engage in overseas wars for projection of power, nor does it create proxies and dependency, nor does it propagate a narrative of global dominance. Thus, these are the important lessons to be gathered from China's success and emergence as a modern state and global power in less than 80 years. These are indeed worthy of emulation. Pakistan has had a successful history of good relations with China, with many milestones. Amongst the many achievements, the highlight that is noteworthy is infrastructure development in Pakistan, starting with the magnificent Karakoram Highway to the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor projects of the Road and Belt Initiative. CPEC focused on development and infrastructure, including the Gwadar Port, mining, railways, and energy projects. Since 2014 up to 2018, China invested almost $50 billion in Pakistan. This led to growth in the economy, stability of the currency over an extended period, starting key development projects, creating jobs, infrastructure development, and investment in railways for increased connectivity, skills development through exchange of expertise and technology in the private sector, and completion of energy projects. This collaboration would have continued had the process not been derailed by political instability in Pakistan. The lack of commitment in Pakistan to continuity of national interest policy objectives and goals seriously impacted the CPEC initiatives. This has been noted in Beijing, and Pakistan has been advised to create political stability and mitigate polarization to ensure continuity of policies. This has also impeded the continuation of several key projects, wherein the Chinese leadership has sought serious application of mind from policy makers in Pakistan towards resolving the concerns raised by them in bilateral talks. The other serious challenge to Pak-China CPEC projects has been the issue of security-related concerns. This has been raised by Chinese leaderships at the highest levels, both in Beijing and in Islamabad. It goes without saying that these issues cannot be taken lightly and need to be addressed on an urgent basis. There must be meaningful engagement between all political actors in Pakistan so that the ownership, responsibilities, and continuity of policies are shared. Mr. Chairman, this forum is an important forum for understanding and addressing the current trends in Pak-China relations. It is time to set the course straight rather than losing the momentum and opportunities of CPEC, as no other country or neighbor in the world has fostered the kind of special ties that bind Pakistan and China based on mutual respect. It is through this prism that Pakistan needs to strengthen ties with the People's Republic of China, and not through the prism of dependency, exaggerated rhetoric, or lack of policy frameworks. Mr. Chairman, I thank you for the opportunity to speak here. It has been an honor and a privilege. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Senator Saadia Khan Abbasi Sahiba. And I understand that you have to leave to attend some condolence session. So kindly you are now. Thank you. Dr. Shadra Sahiba, you can sit down. Dr. Shadra Mansabali is the Parliamentary Secretary for Foreign Affairs in the Government of Pakistan. Now I would like to request, thank you, Saadia. Thank you. Now I would like to request the Honorable Leader of the Opposition in the Senate of Pakistan, my good friend, Senator Shibli Faraz. He has the right DNA. His late father, Ahmed Faraz, was one of the most distinguished Urdu poets of South Asia, with a track record of promoting democracy and supporting human rights. And Senator Shibli is a follower of Deng Xiaoping. He's a survivor. And I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Senator Mushahid Hussain, for your kind words. Honorable guests, distinguished colleagues, members of Pakistan-China Institute, and Prince of China. Assalamu alaikum and good day. It is indeed a great honor to stand before you today at this significant event organized to discuss and reflect upon the third plenary session of the 20th Central Committee of Communist Party of China. From the very inception of our party, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf has always recognized the immense value of our relationship with China. This bond between our two nations is not just a diplomatic formality. It is a deep-rooted friendship that has evolved over decades, standing strong through the vicissitudes of time. Pakistan-China relations are a model of state-to-state relations built on mutual respect, shared interests, and a commitment to common good. For PTI, this relationship is of paramount importance, not only in terms of bilateral cooperation, but also as a cornerstone of our foreign policy. We view China as a reliable friend and indispensable economic partner and a key ally in the pursuit of regional peace and stability. The foundations of this relationship are reflected in the strategic projects and initiatives that we have undertaken together, such as China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Under PTI's leadership, we have continued to prioritize CPAC as a vital component of Pakistan's development strategy. We see CPAC not just as an economic project, but as a lifeline for our future growth, connectivity, and integration into the global economy. Our commitment to this partnership is unwavering, and we are dedicated to ensuring that the fruits of this collaboration are shared by all segments of our society. One of the key aspects of China's incredible success story is its policy of reform and opening up. Over the past few decades, this policy has transformed China from an agrarian society into the world's second largest economy, lifting millions out of poverty and setting the stage for unprecedented technological advancements. As we observe the proceedings of the third plenary session of the 20th CPC Central Committee, it becomes clear that China remains steadfast in its commitment to these reforms. The session not only reaffirmed China's determination to continue its path of modernization, but also signals its readiness to adapt to new global realities while staying to its core principles. For Pakistan, the lessons from China's experience are invaluable. We believe that the principles of reform and opening up can serve as a guiding light for our own economic and social development. PTI has always championed the cause of reform, be it in governance, economy, or social sectors. We understand that for Pakistan to reach its true potential, we must embrace change, encourage innovation, and open ourselves up to the global opportunities, just as China has done so successfully. China's approach demonstrates that reforms, when guided by clear vision and strong leadership, can lead to sustainable development and prosperity. PTI is committed to learning from these experiences and implementing policies that promote economic growth, reduce poverty, and enhance the quality of life of all Pakistanis. China's influence today extends beyond its borders. As a major global power, China plays a crucial role in shaping the dynamics of international relations, particularly in the global south. The third plenary session of the 20th CPC Central Committee underscores China's commitment to playing a constructive role on the world stage, advocating for a more just and equitable world order. For the countries of the global south, including Pakistan, China's rise represents both an opportunity and a model. China's development story shows that it is possible to achieve rapid economic growth without compromising on sovereignty or identity. As countries in the global south seek to navigate the complexities of globalization, China's example offers a blueprint for balancing economic integration with national interests. Moreover, China's Belt and Road Initiative, of which CPEC is a flagship project, is a testament to China's commitment to shared prosperity. The BRI has the potential to reshape global trade routes, foster economic cooperation, and create new opportunities for development across Asia, Africa, and beyond. PTI fully supports China's vision of multipolar world where all nations, regardless of their size or power, have a voice and a stake in the global governance. We believe that China's leadership in the global south can help bridge the development gap and promote a more balanced global economy. As we stand at this critical juncture in history, the bond between Pakistan and China continues to be a beacon of hope and progress. PTI is deeply committed to nurturing and strengthening this relationship, ensuring that it remains a force for good in the region and the world. The third plenary session of the 20th CPC Central Committee is a reminder of China's unwavering commitment to its development goals and its readiness to share the benefits of its progress with the rest of the world. As we look to the future, PTI will continue to work closely with our Chinese friends to explore new avenues of cooperation, build on shared successes, and contribute to a more peaceful and prosperous world. I would like to take this opportunity to wish the Pakistan-China Institute all the best for this event and for its continued efforts to foster mutual understanding and collaboration between the two great nations. I must, in the end, congratulate Senator Mushahid Hussain, who has been the real force, a continuous and unwavering commitment to the cause of Pakistan-China relationship throughout his career And we feel very proud of him. We feel very proud of him that his very informal way of conducting very, very complex issues and agendas. We think that, people like Shahid Hussain are a great asset to our diplomatic community, our political community, and our national interests, which are being very intelligently pursued by or promoted by Senator Shahid Hussain. Senator Shahid Hussain really feel proud of it. Thank you, sir.
I'm very touched. Thank you, sir. Very good. Thank you very much, Senator Shibli Faraz, for your very inspiring speech and your very strategic clarity on how the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf views relations with China. I think that's a force multiplier because China is one issue on which there is a broad national consensus. Thank you. अब मैं दरख्वास्त करूंगा मौलाना गफूर हैदरी साहब को. The Maulana Ghafoor Haidari is the leader of the JUI, and he is a very prominent exponent of Pakistan-China relations. Maulana Sahab. And of course, he's a member of the National Assembly. हमारे साथी थे एक ज़माने में Senate में भी, he was deputy chairman of the Senate also. Oh, MashaAllah. Maulana Sahab, bismillah.
नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली अला रसूलिहिल करीम.
Thank you.
सबसे पहले मैं जनाब मुशाहिद हुसैन सैयद का शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ कि उनकी तरगीब और दावत और खूबसूरत एहतमाम के नतीजे में मैं हाजिर हुआ हूँ. और इसी तरह बिरादर मुल्क चीन के जो आला हुक्म यहाँ मौजूद है उनका भी खैर मकदम करता हूँ. और इसी तरह पाकिस्तान की सियासी क़यादत यहाँ मौजूद है, खुशामदीद कहता हूँ. ख़वातीन व हज़रात, साथी हज़रात, सबको मेरा सलाम पहुँचे. आप जानते हैं जो थोड़ी बहुत तारीख से वाकिफ़ियत रखते हैं और मुझसे कबल जिन हजरात ने बातें की हैं वो भी बहुत मुफीद बातें हैं. और मैं जो कुछ कहना चाहूँगा वो भी का तसलसल ही हो सकता है. जी
बिल्कुल. He has appreciated this initiative and he says that his party is committed to relations with China and he feels that this is a platform on which all political parties are gathered together.
पाकिस्तान और चीन के ताल्लुकात की जो बुनियाद पड़ी वो गालिबन 1991 में 51 में और इसी वक्त से लेकर आज तक सफारती ताल्लुकात कायम है और दोनों ममालिक के ताल्लुकात में मुसलसल बेहतरी आ रही है. 1963 में पाक चीन के दरमियान सरहदी मुआहदे तय पाए. दोनों ममालिक के दरमियान जोग्राफियाई तनाज़ा जो था वो से खत्म कर दिया. इसी तरह 1970 की दहाई में चीन ने पाकिस्तान को सनअती और फौजी शोबे में भरपूर ताउन दी. 1990 की दहाई में दोनों ममालिक के ताल्लुकात में मजीद मजबूती आई. चीन ने पाकिस्तान को जौहरी कुव्वत बनने में मदद की और इसी तरह 2000 में की दिहाई में चीन पाकिस्तान इक़्तिसादी राहदारी के तहत दोनों ममालिक ने इक़्तिसादी ताउन की नई बुलंदियों तक पहुँचाया. चीन पाकिस्तान इक़्तिसादी राहदारी ये एक मेगा प्रोजेक्ट है जिसका मकसद चीन के सूबा संयांग और पाकिस्तान के गवादर बंदरगाह से मुंसलिक करना है। ये मंसूबा न सिर्फ इक़्तिसादी तरक्की का बायस बन रहा है, बल्कि इसके जरिए दोनों ममालिक के दरमियान माशी, सकाफती और अवामी राबिते मजबूत हो रहे हैं। कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी ऑफ चाइना चीन की हुक्मरान जमात है और चीन की दाखिली और खारिजी पॉलिसियों की तश्कील में अहम किरदार अदा करती है। चीन की खारिजा पॉलिसी में पाकिस्तान को खुसूसी अहमियत है। चीन ने हमेशा पाकिस्तान के साथ ताल्लुकात के इस्तेहकाम और मजबूत रखने की कोशिश की। चीन ने पाकिस्तान में बड़े पैमाने पर सरमायाकारी की, जिसका मकसद दोनों ममालिक के दरमियान इक़्तिसादी रवाबित को मजीद मुस्तहकम करना। सीपेक की पॉलिसी के तहत चीन ने हमेशा जनूबी एशिया में अमन और इस्तेहकाम के लिए पाकिस्तान के किरदार को सराहा और उसकी हिमायत की। पाकिस्तान और चीन के ताल्लुकात का मुस्तकबिल रोशन नजर आता है। दोनों ममालिक के दरमियान इक़्तिसादी, दिफाई और सकाफती शोबों में ताउन के मजीद मौक़े मौजूद हैं। सीपेक की क़यादत में चीन मुस्तकबिल में भी पाकिस्तान के ताल्लुकात को मजीद मजबूत बनाने की कोशिश जारी रखेगी। ये इसके अलावा मैं दो चार जुमले बातें और अर्ज रखना चाहूँगी। वो ये कि पाकिस्तान में जिस प्रोजेक्ट जो सीपेक के नाम से उसकी शोहरत है, वो सरे फहरिस्त गवादर है और उसका मकसद ये है कि ये जो इक़्तिसादी राहदारी है वो ग्वादर से लेकर चाइना तक जाता है। इस हवाले से सीपेक के तहत पाकिस्तान में बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट हुए हैं, मोटरवेज, सीपेक के रोड। बलूचिस्तान के हवाले से और ख़ासतौर पे ग्वादर तक पहुंचने के हवाले से कोई अच्छी सड़क आज तक मौजूद नहीं है। ये मैं इसलिए गुशगुजार करना चाहता हूँ ताकि ग्वादर के बारे में जो एक मशहूर है कि वो एक मेगा सिटी बन रहा है, तो मेगा सिटी के लिए बहुत सारी चीज़ें ज़रूरी है। उसके लिए सबसे पहले तो पानी और बिजली, जो इंसानियत की अहम ज़रूरत है, वो होनी चाहिए। उसके साथ फिर तालीमी इदारे, फिर यूनिवर्सिटियाँ और इसी तरह जो बाकी ज़रूरियात होती हैं एक सिटी और फिर मेगा सिटी के हवाले से, तो वो चीज़ें बहरहाल अब तक नहीं है। तो मैं तवज्जो दिलाऊंगा कि बलूचिस्तान के अवाम को खुश रखने के लिए, मुतमईन करने के लिए बहुत सारी ऐसी चीज़ें हैं जो हमें करनी चाहिए हुकूमत पाकिस्तान को या चाइना को मिलकर। और ये चीज़ें जब तक हम नहीं करेंगे तो उस वक्त तक एतमाद नहीं आ सकेगा, क्योंकि ग्वादर का एक हिस्सा जो है पूरा है चाइना है या जो नेवी है, उस एरिया को उन्होंने कवर किया हुआ है। दूसरी तरफ जो है वो मछेरे हैं जो रोजाना के हिसाब से मछली मारते हैं और उसी से वो अपने बच्चों को पेट पालते हैं, तो वो भी एक मुतासिर हुआ है। तो ये सारी चीजें जो है ना, गौरतलब है, कोई ये चीजें बताता है, कोई नहीं बताता। और चाइना हमारा बिरादर मुल्क है, वो अपने हद तक तो तमाम तर कोशिशें कर रहा है कि लोगों को तो वो काम भी हो। लेकिन मैं अपने हुक्मरानों को भी मुतवज्जो करना चाहता हूँ कि जब तक इन मसाइल पर आप तवज्जो नहीं देंगे, उस वक्त तक लोग बस ये समझेंगे कि ये कोई सब्ज बाग है। इसी तरह मैं समझता हूँ कि इस मौके पर मैं चीन के सदर शी जिनपिंग को मुबारकबाद देता हूँ और उनकी जलील कदर खिदमात जो चाइनीज अवाम के लिए है, पूरी दुनिया के लिए है, खास तौर पे पाकिस्तान के लिए है, मैं उन खिदमात को कराता भी हूँ और खिराज तहसीन पेश करता हूँ कि उनकी क़ियादत में चीन ने बहुत तरक्की की है और चीन की मईशत आसमान को छू रही है और इसी तरह चीन के जो मसनूआत है वो पूरी दुनिया में फैली हुई है। तो ये एक अच्छी क़ियादत, अच्छी पार्टी, कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी ऑफ चाइना जो अहम किरदार अदा करती है, उनका मरहून मिन्नत होता है। तो अच्छी क़ियादत अगर में भी मुयस्सर होती है तो शायद हम भी अपने मुल्क को तरक्की दे सकें, अमन कायम कर सकें। तो ये ज़रूरी है, मैं समझता हूँ कि कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी ऑफ चाइना और चीन के सदर शी जिनपिंग जिनकी क़ियादत में शब रोज़ चीन तरक्की कर रहा है और उस हवाले से बहरहाल वो खराज तहसीन के मुस्तहक है। इसी तरह मैं अर्ज रखूँ कि गवादर के हवाले से जो एक अमन कमान का मसला भी है, उसमें आप सब जानते हैं, हमारे बिरादर मुल्क को भी ये तक आ गई है कि वो शायद अपना रेट गवादर के मेगा सिटी बनने या एक आलमी जहाजरानी के हवाले से एक शोहरत बनती जा रही है, वो ज़रा खाइफ है। और वो भी आप जानते हैं कि वो कौन हो सकते हैं। बहर के इन हालात में हमें नए आज़म के साथ और एक अच्छी हिकमत अमली के साथ कि अपने बलूचिस्तान के लोगों को भी मुतमईन करें और सी पैक और बिलखुसूस गवादर के हवाले से, बलूचिस्तान के हवाले से जो मामलात हैं उनको भी खुशसलूकी से तय करें। मैं फिर आप सबका और मुशाहिद हुसैन भाई का और तमाम अहबाब का, कायदीन का शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ जो उन्होंने इस मौके पर मुझे भी मौका इनात फरमाया। वस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाह।
बहुत मेहरबानी, बहुत शुक्रिया। और आपकी तजावीज़ मैंने सारी बता दी हैं, वो इंशाल्लाह दोनों तरफ से जो हुकूमत पाकिस्तान है या हुकूमत चाइना वो लेंगे। Thank you very much, Maulana Kapoor Hadi Sahab, for your very thoughtful presentation and your focus on the issues of Balochistan. And now I'd like to request Senator Afrasiab Khattak Sahab, leader of the National Democratic Movement, NDM, and he is one of Pakistan's preeminent intellectuals and scholars in Pashto literature, Urdu literature, Farsi literature, and also an activist and leader of human rights and democracy in Pakistan. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Senator Mukhtar Sayed, Minister Sheikh Sahib, Chief Guest, learned members of the panel, and ladies and gentlemen. It's a great privilege for me to be standing before you today. And I would also like to thank the friends of the Silk Road and Pakistan-China Institute for organizing today's function. We are here to discuss China's third plenary session of the 20th Central Committee of the Communist Party of China, a strategic blueprint for reform and modernization. Communist Party of China is not just another ruling party. It's a unique political force in Asia and in the world, which has led Chinese people in 20th and 21st century in great struggles and toward great achievements. It was Communist Party of China that liberated China from colonialism. It was Communist Party of China which led Chinese people into new democratic revolution and established People's Republic of China in 1949. And after that, the journey continued. It was in 1978 that China adopted the road of opening up and reform. And after that, China has become a new economic superpower. Chinese Communist Party has adopted an ideology which is called socialism with Chinese characteristics. It's a very important combination where there is private property, there is entrepreneurship, but there is also a very strong public sector. This unique model has enabled China to lift millions of people from poverty. There are countries in the world which are supposed to be advanced, developed, but where there are millions of people living in poverty. I think the Chinese model is distinguishable from those other models because of its importance for the people. As we can see, even in this in this session which we are discussing, they are very important takeaways, which are not only important for China, but which are also important for all the countries of the world, and particularly for Pakistan, like continuity of reform and opening up. Reform and opening up is continuous process. It's not just event. It is continuing. I think for countries like ours, where we are sort of burdened by a status quo, which is not maintainable, it's very important to learn from this opening up and reform. And when they speak of development, they have their very clear goals. For example, 2 centenary goals. The first goal was to be achieved up till 2021, which has already been achieved. It was to make China moderately prosperous country in all respects. They have already achieved that. And the second centenary goal is will be achieved in 2049, when China will become a prosperous socialist country, modern socialist country. In addition, in countries like ours and many other countries in Asia, people, societies are polarized because of ideological differences. For example, there's conflict between modernity and tradition. But China has resolved this very successfully by making it its progress, which is also international, but it is also, it represents Chinese culture. It's based on Chinese history and Chinese historical reality. So that's, I think, very important. Apart from that, the nature of development in China is people-centric. It's balancing economic growth with social stability and national security. These are very important combinations which can be a source of learning for all countries, particularly for a country like Pakistan. When we speak of development, you can't develop in this day and age without technological innovation and high quality development. And as this document very clearly points out, China is positioning itself as a leader in the critical sectors, such as semiconductors, artificial intelligence, and renewable energy. These are very, very important goals in today's competition in economic development. So I think it's very important for us to think over these things and learn from the Chinese experience, particularly when we have an opportunity of CPEC. CPEC, I think, is very vital for Pakistan and for this region, because in this part of the world, the regional cooperation is not as forward as it is in other countries. For example, in the American continent, even Southeast Asia, Europe, here we don't have very active regional cooperation. So CPEC can be a rallying point for the countries of the region, not only for Pakistan, but also countries like Afghanistan, Iran, and Middle Eastern countries can also be attracted into to be involved in this. And I think this will provide Pakistan a unique opportunity to become a frontline state in economic development, rather than be a frontline state in wars which have consumed our country, our energies, or resources. So it's high time to change our course correction, which is to focus on economic development. And economics should be the most important focus for Pakistan's future. And I believe Pakistan has all the potential. It has youth bulge. It has all the natural resources. What we need is course correction and adopting a system, a path of development, which is important for us and also for global South. Particularly the countries which are developing can be inspired and they can learn from Chinese path of development. And this is a path which is a peaceful path. China has not fought wars. It has not gone for colonizing countries. It wants cooperation, which is beneficial for all sides. And that is, I think, the most important and best characteristics of cooperation between China and Pakistan. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And I think the message from Senator Afrasiyab Khatak Sahib that we need a course correction, that we should be a frontline state on economic development, not in conflicts or wars. And I think that is the very core message, and that is what CPAC is all about. Thank you. Now I'd like to request my good friend, Senator Jan Jamali. He comes from the famous, legendary Jamali family of Balochistan, and he has been former deputy chairman also, former chief minister of Balochistan, former speaker also. Senator Jan Jamali represents the Balochistan Awami Party, BAPA.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Being a good politician, I've come ill-prepared. So I dropped in from Quetta just 2 nights back. So I'm going through the shock effects of whatever happened in Balochistan 2 nights back. Mushal Saab,
Yes, sir.
Saab, all the honorable panelists. Thank you for asking me over. I come as a sightseer for this conference.
You came from Mushahada, but you are an activist.
I'm a follower of China. It's not only today. I've been following the long march of early history. And I've always followed these things. The Communist Party of China is a success story by itself. It is because of the Communist Party that China has developed. It is where it is today. And sitting in Balochistan, I feel happy that there is a link between Pakistan and China, which the Chinese are going forward in Afghanistan also. They have reached out to Iran also. My message to the respected parties is that this nexus should be continued for development. I'll not take much of your time because most of our friends are getting drowsy. What happened in Balochistan to do with the Communist Party? It has to be conveyed back to Beijing. This is not going to stop your development work on CPAC. The great game is on, and this is the great game of this century. We had heard a lot of the great game of the Tsarists and the British India, but this is the great game of China versus those who don't want to tolerate China. I don't want to name anybody. The development has to continue. And Pakistan has to provide the security and safety of the Chinese in Pakistan, especially in Gwadar. But coming down to practicals, Mushahid Saab, Gwadar was a fisherman's town. The fishermen still need the support of the Chinese state. And the Chinese have to reach out directly to the people of Gwadar. If you ask the various offices, I'm naming the offices, the deliverance will not be there. You have to reach out directly. I do understand. Chinese have a system which from Beijing came down to Islamabad. But I always jokingly said that things travel down on bullock cart to Balochistan. So these things have to be changed. You have to reach out directly to the people. And takes up, you are in the cabinet, your cabinet now. Security of the Chinese, security of the CPEC group is the responsibility of the federal and the provincial governments. It has to be done in the interest of the development to continue. The great game will be on, things will be they'll keep on happening, but you have to do it. तो मैं यही कहना चाहता था आप लोगों से कि रुके नहीं, ये मुकम्मल करें, इसको कारामद करें. तो अगर फ्यूचर ऑफ पाकिस्तान इज बलूचिस्तान, ये आपको बता दें. तो अगर उसका जहन में इट हैज टू बी डन, यू कांट बैक आउट नाउ, एंड आपके पास और कोई रास्ता भी नहीं रहेगा. ये जरा जहन में डाल दें. So sorry for giving me the opportunity. As a good politician, I came ill prepared. I had come to be a side speaker.
No,
Thank you very much. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you for your very candid remarks on Balochistan situation and what you basically said, that despite difficulties, we have an unwavering, unshakable commitment to take CPEC forward and the development of Gwadar Port as a centerpiece of CPEC. Thank you so much, Jan Jamali Sab, with your background and expertise. And Jan Jamali led the famous delegation of Pakistani youth in 1999 when he was Chief Minister of Balochistan to China to celebrate the 50 years of the People's Republic of China. During your visit. Excellent. So thank you very much. And now I'd like to request Dr. Shadra Mansab Ali, member of the National Assembly. She is the Parliamentary Secretary for Foreign Affairs in the government of Pakistan. Dr. Shadra, over to you.
Thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable guests, distinguished colleagues, members of the Pakistan-China Institute, and respected friends from China, Assalamu alaikum. It is a great honor to address this distinguished gathering on the occasion of discussing the outcomes of the third plenary session of the 20th Central Committee of the Communist Party of China. China's approach to international relations has long been characterized by a commitment to peace, stability, and mutual respect. Unlike many global powers, China has consistently advocated for the resolution of conflict through dialogue and diplomacy, rather than through coercion and force. This commitment to peace is deeply rooted in China's foreign policy principles, and it is the cornerstone of China's interactions with other nations, particularly in the global south. For Pakistan, China's peaceful approach in international relations is not just commendable, but essential. It provides a framework within which countries like ours can navigate the complexities of global politics without being drawn into conflicts that undermine our sovereignty and development. China's emphasis on non-interference in the internal affairs of other countries and its support for the principles of sovereign equality resonates strongly with Pakistan's own foreign policy goals. Moreover, China's role as a mediator in various international conflicts, including its efforts to promote dialogue between different parties in global hotspots, highlights its dedication to peace and stability. Pakistan values this approach and views China as a responsible global power that uses its influence to foster harmony and cooperation in the international arena. China's rise as a global power has significant implications for the global south. The policies and strategies emerging from the third plenary session of the 20th CPC Central Committee are of particular importance to developing nations as they outline China's continued commitment to supporting economic development, reducing poverty, and promoting sustainable growth in these regions. China's Belt and Road Initiative, with the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor as the flagship project, is a prime example of how China's vision extends beyond its borders to include the development and prosperity of its partners. For Pakistan, CPEC has been a game changer, bringing much needed infrastructure, energy solutions, and economic opportunities to our country. This initiative underscores China's role as a leader in the global south, one that is committed to shared prosperity and development. Furthermore, China's engagement with the global south goes beyond economic cooperation. It includes efforts to address global challenges such as climate change, health pandemics, and food security. China's proactive stance on these issues and its willingness to collaborate with developing nations to find solutions demonstrate its commitment to creating more equitable and just world order. Pakistan has always stood firmly by China on its core interests, and we continue to do so with unwavering commitment. One of the most critical aspects of our bilateral relationship is our support for the One China policy. Pakistan has consistently recognized and upheld China's sovereignty and territorial integrity, including on sensitive issues such as Taiwan. The One China policy is a fundamental principle of China's foreign policy, and it is one that Pakistan fully endorses. We believe that respecting the sovereignty and territorial integrity of nations is essential for maintaining global peace and stability. Pakistan's adherence to the One China policy is not just a matter of diplomatic protocol. It is a reflection of our deep respect for China's core interests and our commitment to a stable and harmonious international order. Just as Pakistan supports China on its core interests, we deeply appreciate China's consistent and principled stand on the issue of Kashmir. China has always advocated for the peaceful resolution of the Kashmir dispute in accordance with the United Nations resolutions and the aspirations of the Kashmiri people. This position is a testament to China's commitment to justice and fairness in international relations. The situation in Kashmir, ladies and gentlemen, remains a source of deep concern for Pakistan, and China's support in highlighting this issue on global platforms has been invaluable. China's balanced and principled approach has helped to keep the plight of the Kashmiri people in the international spotlight, reminding the world of the urgent need for a peaceful resolution to this long-standing conflict. China's stance on Kashmir is not just a reflection of our strong bilateral relationship, it is also a demonstration of China's broader commitment to supporting the rights of oppressed people and upholding international law. For this, Pakistan remains deeply grateful, and we look forward to continuing our close cooperation with China on this and other critical issues. As we reflect on the discussions of the third plenary session of the 20th PCC Central Committee, it is clear that China's role in the world is not only growing, but is also evolving in ways that benefit not just China, but the entire global community. For Pakistan, our relationship with China is one of our most cherished and strategically important partnerships. It is a relationship built on mutual respect, shared values, and a common vision for a peaceful and prosperous future. I would like to take this opportunity to extend my best wishes to the Pakistan-China Institute organizing this important event. May our discussions today pave the way for even deeper cooperation and mutual understanding between our two great nations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Shazra, for a very comprehensive speech. Thank you so much. Good luck in your work as Parliamentary Secretary for Foreign Affairs. Senator John Mohammad Buledi Sahab is from the National Party, Parliamentary Leader of the National Party, and a close comrade of Mr. Hasil Bazinjo and Mir Ghasbaks Bazinjo Sahab. John Sahab.
अस्सलामुअलैकुम। मैंने वैसे अपनी पूरी तकरीर दोनों जुबानों में लिखी है, अंग्रेजी और उर्दू में साथ साथ, लेकिन मैं कुछ कहना चाहता हूँ इससे कम।
مشاہد حسین بھائی کے بارے میں. مشاہد صاحب ایک واقعہ تھا نا غیر معمولی انسان ہے اور جو کام وہ کر رہے ہیں شاید پاکستان میں بڑے بڑے ادارے بھی نہیں کر پا رہے. وہ ایک دانشور صحافی اور سیاستدان ہے لیکن شاید ہماری اس ملک کی بدقسمتی میں ایک ہے کہ ہم نے ایسے لوگوں کی ابھی ضرورت ہمیں کم پڑ گئی. مشاہد حسین ہو، فرت اللہ بابر صاحب ہو، رضا ربانی ہو، حافظ صاحب فقر صاحب ہو، تو ایسے لوگوں کی ابھی ہمیں ضرورت نہیں ہے. ہم کوشش کرتے ہیں اپنے اداروں میں اس طرح کے جو اس کیلیبر کے لوگ ہیں ہم کہتے ہیں ان کو سائڈ لائن کریں. باقی ہم نعرہ باز کافی ہیں. پتہ نہیں محسوس یہی ہو رہا ہے. میرے خیال میں تو یہ لوگ ہوں گے تو تبدیلی ہوگی. میرے کہنے کا مقصد یہ ہے اور میں سمجھتا ہوں کہ مشاہد بھائی جو کر رہے ہیں شاید پاکستان تو نہیں لیکن چائنا کو اس کی ضرورت ہونی چاہیے. اور چائنا کے لیے دیکھیے چائنا ایک بہت بڑی ایک ملک کے ساتھ ایک بڑی کمیونسٹ پارٹی اور بہت کچھ ان کی ویژن ہے نا. ان کو جو پاکستان میں کرنا ہے ان کے سامنے جو ہرڈلز ہے ان ہرڈلز کو بھی اگر کوئی سمجھتا ہے نا پاکستان میں جو سیاستدان سمجھتے ہیں نا ان میں مشاہد صاحب. آغاز کے بلوچستان کو دیکھیں بلوچستان کے جہاں بھی دیکھیں ان کو ابھی مشکلات بلوچستان میں ہے نا گوادر سی پیک ساری چیزیں نا. تو سی پیک یا آغاز کے بلوچستان میں جو تجاویز ہیں ان کے اگر ان پہ آج بھی عمل کیا جائے تو بہت سے مسائل 50% مسائل حل ہو. 50% مسائل. تو میں سمجھتا ہوں اور آج اس مجلس میں بڑے بڑے لوگ بیٹھے ہیں اسٹیج پر بھی. مشاہد صاحب کی دوستی میں اتنے بڑے لوگ اور دوست آتے ہیں کہ اسٹیج کم پڑ جاتا ہے. تو میں معذرت چاہتا ہوں. صورتحال دیکھیے یہ ہے کہ کمیونسٹ پارٹی کی جو 20ویں مرکزی کمیٹی کا جو تیسرا اجلاس ہے جس کے فیصلے جو ہم پر کیا اثرات مرتب کرتے ہیں اس کو دیکھنے کی ضرورت. پاکستان مشکل میں ہے. پاکستان میں سیاسی استحکام کا بھی ایشو ہے، معاشی استحکام کا بھی ایشو ہے، غربت ہے، پسماندگی ہے، جہالت ہے، انتہا پسندی ہے، دہشت گردی ہے. اس پورے صورتحال سے نمٹنے کے لیے میں سمجھتا ہوں کہ جو پاک چائنا ایک فرینڈشپ ہے اس کا جو تعاون ہمارے ساتھ ہے سی پیک ہے ہمیں اس سے فائدہ اٹھانے کی ضرورت ہے اور ہمیں آگے بڑھنے کی ضرورت ہے. مشکلات تو ہیں جس طرح جمالی صاحب نے کہا کہ سیکیورٹی کے مشکلات آ رہے ہیں اور چینی ساتھیوں کی چینی دوستوں کی یا چینی کمپنیز کی ایک بڑی تعداد بلوچستان میں کام کر رہی ہے. چھوٹی تعداد نہیں ہے. گوادر پورٹ کے علاوہ بھی بہت ساری کمپنیاں ہیں جو بلوچستان میں کام کر رہے ہیں اور حقیقت یہ ہے جو بلوچستان میں یہ جو صورتحال ہے یہ اس کی وجہ نہیں ہے. اس کی وجہ ہو رہے لیکن جب صورتحال کہیں خراب ہوتی ہے تو اس کا سب سے جو پہلے اثرات ہیں نا وہ بزنس پر کاروبار پر اس کے پر اور یہی وجہ ہے کہ وہاں یہ چیزیں ہمیں نظر آ رہی ہیں. بلوچستان میں کوئی اور کام نہیں کر رہا ہے. ریکو دیکھ پہ کچھ کام کر رہے ہیں. ریکو دیکھ کے علاوہ اگر کوئی کام کر رہا ہے تو صرف چائنیز کام. اور گوادر پورٹ ہے دیکھیے سی پیک بالکل سی پیک سے بڑی امید ہے. $67 بلین کوئی چھوٹی رقم نہیں ہے جو پاکستان میں چائنیز डेवलपमेंट के सिलसिले में चाइनीज गवर्नमेंट के साथ शेयर कर रहे हैं, तो ये हमारी भी जिम्मेदारी बनती है, क्योंकि ये म्यूचुअल है, सिर्फ चाइनीज की मर्जी नहीं होती इसमें, ये हमारे हुक्मरानों की भी मर्जी होती है कि इन पैसों को कहाँ खर्च करें। इसकी जरूरत है, बलूचिस्तान में इसकी जरूरत है। बलूचिस्तान का देखिए इस वक्त हेल्थ सेक्टर उसकी हालत खराब है, वाटर सेक्टर उसकी हालत खराब है, इरिगेशन सेक्टर उसकी हालत खराब है, एजुकेशन सेक्टर इसकी हालत खराब है, बिजनेस सेक्टर वो ना होने के बराबर है। तो इनमें इनको बेहतर किया जा सकता है। हमारी यूनिवर्सिटियों की हमें चाहिए कि चाइनीज दोस्त हमारे बैठे हुए हैं, हम चाहते हैं कि बलूचिस्तान के साथ उनका एक, क्योंकि जब हम सीपेक की बात करते हैं तो ग्वादर की बात आ जाती है, ग्वादर के बगैर सीपेक फिर नामुकम्मल हो जाती है। अगर ग्वादर के बगैर सीपेक नामुकम्मल है तो ग्वादर को एड्रेस करना पड़ेगा, ग्वादर के नौजवानों के लिए रास्ते खोलने पड़ेंगे, उनकी एजुकेशन के लिए रास्ते खोलने पड़ेंगे, उनके लिए वज़ाइफ का इंतजाम करना पड़ेगा, उनकी यूनिवर्सिटियों के साथ एक लिंक जोड़ना पड़ेगा, बलूचिस्तान की यूनिवर्सिटियों के साथ एक लिंक जोड़ना पड़ेगा, तब जाके इन मामलात को हम आगे की तरफ बढ़ा सकते हैं। सिर्फ देखिए अभी तक तो सीपैक है, सीपैक के 2 प्रोजेक्ट इस वक्त बलूचिस्तान में हमने देखे नजर आ रहे हैं, जो मैं पॉलिटिक्स करता हूँ। एक अभी जो एयरपोर्ट तैयार होने को है, इस एयरपोर्ट का क्या करेंगे ये खुद एक सवालिया निशान है, क्योंकि ग्वादर में हफ्ते में मेरे ख्याल में 4-5 फ्लाइट चलते हैं, वो भी ईटीआर, और उसमें इस इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट का क्या करेंगे ये तो शायद साहब ही बता देंगे। लेकिन मुझे कुछ नजर नहीं आता ये प्रोजेक्ट कि किस काम का है। दूसरा एक 18-17 किलोमीटर रोड है जो ग्वादर पोर्ट को जाके कोस्टल हाईवे से मिला। इसके अलावा बड़े कोई एक प्रोजेक्ट भी नहीं है, पेपर्स में है, पावर प्रोजेक्ट है, दूसरे तीसरे है, जिसके लिए हमने कहा था कि अब सूरत हाल तब्दील हो गई है, क्योंकि वो कोल पावर प्रोजेक्ट प्लांट था, उसको अभी सोलर में तब्दील करने की जरूरत है, क्योंकि ग्वादर में जमीन का तो इशू नहीं है, और ग्वादर को 2 तरीके से, जो ग्वादर का नाम है यानी जो हवा का रास्ता, यानी विंड पे भी आप बहुत कुछ कर सकते हो। जितनी जो है तेज हवा ग्वादर में चलती है शायद पाकिस्तान में कहीं चलती होगी। तो ये देखो चीजों को, इन्हीं को देख के हम आगे की तरफ बढ़ सकते हैं, और जमीन भी है तो ये मैं सोचता हूँ कि इस पे बेहतरी आ सकती है। तो इसके अलावा देखें जो खास तौर पर हमारी जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जिसने हमें आज पाक चाइना ने जो यहाँ इकट्ठे किया, ये उनकी मेहरबानी है, और हमें चाहिए कि हम इससे फायदा उठाएं, और हम अपनी बुनियादी जो ढांचा, जहाँ जहाँ हमारी कमजोरियां हैं, खामियां हैं, हम चाइनीज से सीखें। चाइनीज की उम्र हमसे छोटी है, चाइनीज की जो इनकलाब को आप देखें, इनकलाब के बाद आज तक हमने, वो हमसे छोटे हैं, हम तो उनके बड़े भाई हैं यार। और सूरत हाल ये है कि हम गुर्बत की उस लकीर पे वहां पहुंचे हैं, और उनके यहाँ जो मैं गया था चाइना, उन्होंने हमें बताया कि गुर्बत को खत्म करने के लिए उन्होंने जो हिकमत अमली अपनाई थी वो कमाल की थी, और उन्होंने बहुत ही मुख्तसर मुद्दत में चाइना में गुर्बत खत्म करने के लिए जो इकदाम किए और जिसका नतीजा निकला है ना, वो अमेजिंग है। तो हमें फॉलो करना चाहिए ना, ये चीजें हैं, उनकी तरक्की है, वहाँ इंडस्ट्री है, इन सारी चीजों को मिला के हमने आगे बढ़ना होगा और मैं आप तमाम दोस्तों का इंतहाई मशहूर हूँ और पाक चाइना इंस्टीट्यूट का भी मशहूर हूँ जिन्होंने ये प्रोग्राम किया। आप सबका शुक्रिया।
Thank you, John Mohammed Buledi Sahib, for your very instructive comments and your suggestions on how to take CPEC forward in Balochistan, especially on the issue of education and better governance and power projects, and your kind words about me. Much appreciated. And now I'd like to request Senator Abdul Qadir from the Balochistan Awami Party, BAP, for his speech. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. I will be very brief because our elder and the senior politician has already spoken much about the event and the feedback and Pak-China relations. Honorable guests, distinguished members of Pak-China Institute and esteemed colleagues, Assalamu alaikum. It is an immense privilege to address this gathering today on the occasion of discussing the significance of the third plenary session of 20th CPC Central Committee. This event is not merely a reflection on a pivotal moment in China's political landscape, but also an opportunity for us as a developing nation to draw valuable lessons from China's governance model, particularly its whole process democratic approach. The third plenary session of 20th Central Committee of the Communist Party of China holds profound importance not only for China, but for the entire global community. It serves as a strategic assembly where critical decisions are made, shaping the direction of China's domestic and international policies. The session reflects China's commitment to progress, stability, and innovation, ensuring that the nation's growth aligns with the aspirations of the needs of its people. One of the most remarkable aspects of China's governance, which is highlighted in the plenary session, is its whole process democratic model. Unlike the Western democratic systems that often focus on electoral cycles and partisan politics, China's model emphasizes continuous inclusive participation at all levels of governance. This approach ensures that every segment of society, from grassroots to the top echelons, has a voice in the shaping of the nation's future. The efficacy of this model is evident in China's remarkable socio-economic progress over the past few decades. By prioritizing the collective will of the people and ensuring that governance remains people-centric, China has managed to lift hundreds of millions out of poverty, build world-class infrastructure, and maintain social harmony. For developing countries like Pakistan, there is much to learn from this approach. We must explore how to adopt three principles to our unique cultural, social, and political context
to ensure that our development is inclusive, sustainable, and reflective of the will of our people. The China-Pakistan economic corridor has been a game changer for Pakistan. It has created thousands of jobs, improved our transportation network, and enhanced our energy capacity. Through CPEC, we have seen the construction of roads, bridges, and ports that have been previously isolated regions of our country, enabling trade and commerce to flourish. Moreover, the energy projects under CPEC have significantly reduced the chronic power shortages that plagued our industries and homes for years. But beyond the tangible economic benefits, CPEC has also strengthened the strategic partnership between our two nations. It has reinforced our mutual commitment to regional stability and prosperity. The projects under CPEC are not just about infrastructure. They represent a shared vision of the future where both Pakistan and China can thrive together in a rapidly changing world. As we continue to navigate the challenges of the modern era, from economic uncertainties to geopolitical tensions, the partnership between Pakistan and China remains a cornerstone of our national policy. We must continue to work closely with our Chinese counterparts to ensure that the benefits of CPEC reach every corner of this country and that our cooperation extends to new sectors such as technology, education, and agriculture. As we gather here today to discuss the outcome of the third plenary session of 20th CPC Central Committee, let us also reflect on the border, lessons that we can learn from China's development journey. The whole process, democratic model with its focus on continuous public participation and inclusive growth, offers a blueprint for how developing nations like Pakistan can achieve sustainable progress and growth. We remain committed to strengthening our ties with China and exploring new avenues for cooperation. Our recent visit to China was a testament to this commitment, and we are confident that the future holds even greater opportunities for collaboration between our two great nations. As we look ahead, let us work together to build a brighter future for our people, one that is rooted in mutual respect, shared prosperity, and a common vision for a better world. I wish the Pakistan-China Institute the very best for this event, and I hope that our discussions today will pave the way for even stronger ties between Pakistan and China. Lastly, I will repeat which Honorable Jan Jamali said and Honorable the Senator Jan Saab said, that China should not be deterred or lose heart from the progress and should continue this CPEC and this development projects and these small faction of people who are doing the terrorism. They are not the voice and they are not the real strength and population of Balochistan. We look forward to Chinese people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And